Wait, okay. Remember to stop and start halfway through. There's Felicia. Hi,
Baby.
Hi. We haven't seen you yet. Hi. She is connecting to audio.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Hey, I clicked onto the wrong link and I was like, oh no.
Felicia, this is John Smiley over there. Can you see John? John, wave at her. Yeah. And he is one of our two monologue people today. Roland hasn't asked to be admitted yet. So.
Okay.
Will he?
So it looks like.
Will he come in halfway, or did you give him a different start time, or no?
No.
Oh.
I don't know how to do that sort of thing, Jen.
Oh, you just send him an email and say, don't log in until 4:20.
Oh, there he is.
There
I'm
we
going
are.
to admit him. Hey, Roland, you're blue again.
Yeah. Sorry, it took a minute. I tried my fixes and they are not working. I could go away and come back in a couple minutes, or
Roland's blue.
just leave me blue.
But at least you can see Roland. I'm here, guys. Jim is here.
Well, you look good.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Can't get my camera to work. That's okay.
Let's, you know what, Roland, since you're blue, maybe you want to go away and come back in like 10 minutes or so and see if you can be unblue.
Okay. And Mr. Smiley, I'm sorry, I'm not going to see yours then. But is this supposed to be a more private coaching sort of session, or?
Well, you may well see some of John's, because after 10 minutes, you'll be coming back. Okay. So.
You're not disappearing.
And I think, no, you're not disappearing. I thought you might want to get rid of the blue.
Yeah,
that's all.
It might just take a minute, but I'll be back just as soon as it does.
And I will let you in.
Okay. Thank you, Catherine. See you in a minute.
Thanks, Roland. All right. Bye. So, Jen, do you want to take over?
Sure. I was wondering, do we want to turn off our cameras and we can hide the non-video participants while John presents, and then we can all come back?
Yes, I will stop my video.
Sure.
I'm gone.
And I will.
Jim is gone. There we go.
And then do you have hide non-video participants?
Do you want me to hide you?
No, I can, but I mean, we can literally hide us so that the only person that will be in the frame at all will be John, instead of our little floating names.
Oh, so we go out of gallery view?
No, you go to,
view?
If you go to start video and then click on the little arrow there, hit video settings, and then you just choose hide non-video participants on where it says meetings, and then we all go away and it's just John. There we are. Perfect.
John.
Yes.
Thank you, Jen.
You bet.
All right, so John, why don't you tell us what you're doing?
So I have Exeter from Henry V. Now I'm trying to see here. Should I be seeing my face giant in the, or no?
Yes.
I should.
It should just be you.
Oh, there we go. Awesome. Would you like me to stand or sit?
How have you prepared?
I prepared this way. All right. In which array brave soldier doth he lie larding the plain? And by his bloody side, yoke fellow to his honor owing wounds, the noble Earl of Suffolk also lies. Suffolk first died, and York, all haggled over, comes to him, wherein gore he lay and steeped, and takes him by the beard, kisses the gashes that bloodily did yawn upon his face, and cries aloud, "Tarry, my cousin Suffolk, tarry, sweet soul, for mine, then fly abreast, as in this glorious and well-foughten field we kept together in our chivalry." Upon these words, I came and cheered him up, smiled him in the face, wrought me his hand, and with a feeble grip cried, "Dear my lord, commend my service to my sovereign." So did he turn, and over Suffolk's neck he threw his wounded arm and kissed his lips, and so espoused to death with blood, he sealed a testament of noble ending love. The pretty and sweet manner of it forced those waters from me which I would have stopped, but I had not so much of man in me, and all those waters came into mine eyes and gave me up to tears.
Good.
Thank you. My first digital sharing.
Jen, do you want to start and give your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm coming back on just so I'm not like the voice from
talking. Yes.
The talk.
Just out of curiosity, what tools did you use, Michael Chekhov or otherwise, to?
I was using a little bit of atmosphere. I was using a little bit of gesture, some PG.
Mm-hmm. Specifically, which ones?
I was using penetrate. I was using ring. I was using ring, a little bit of ring and penetrate. I think those were the two I was predominantly working with.
Okay, and
open. I was using open too at the beginning.
Okay. Got it. Yes, because I'm seeing the open in particular, but I'm wondering if instead of just using open as a psychological gesture, if you might use the tools of expand and contract, because
Absolutely.
It felt like there were no discoveries being made.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like it was heightened, but throughout, and so it was, instead of going from thought to thought and having sort of the, dramatic arc, it just felt like you got on a train and you rolled.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm wondering when it contracts, when it becomes more internalized and then when it needs to grow.
Gotcha.
As just a start. That's my first offering. I don't know if Kathy or Belisha have another, or if we want to just go one by one.
Belisha, before you, I let you jump in there, I forgot to ask you, John, if we have permission. We are recording it, but we will not post it without your permission.
No. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Use it. Don't abuse it.
Go ahead, Belisha.
Well, I was on the same plane as Jen. I was wanting to see some like the polarity within it, because it did sound all the same. And so even with, like, if you were going to use the PGs, I mean, the open and contract was like, that's right on point. But then if you're going to use the PGs, what's something like the open and then close? And then if you're going to use the penetrate, then how are you using that that penetrate, the quality of it that can help with the polarity of it? Because right now it's all in the middle and the same. And so, and I would suggest, if you could, if there's enough space for you to stand up and then maybe step into it a little bit more, because I think the more that you use your body, then that can get you a little more involved within it too.
Yeah, because you can even, expand and physically contract so that you really feel when it needs, let the ideal center tell you, like, I need to expand, or I feel contraction. Oh, and that's a thing. Did you cross threshold? And
there you go.
Yeah.
That was going to be my first comment. Did we cross the threshold and activate the actor's ideal?
No, I did not. So yes.
Yeah. I think maybe I love what Jen and Belisha have said. I'm right on with them. But the first thing I wrote down was AIC. And of course we have to cross the threshold. So if you can do that, John, and then start over again and activate some of those gestures that Jen and Belisha have talked about to get the polarity, I think it would be great.
Yeah, and that's enough to work on. So I'm going to go away.
Yeah. How do we go away?
I mean, we just stop our video
Oh, okay. There we go. There you are, John.
In which array brave soldier doth he lie, larding the plain? And by his bloody side, yoke fellow to his honor owing wounds, the noble Earl of Suffolk also lies. Suffolk first died, and York, all haggled over, comes to him, wherein gore he lay and steeped, and takes him by the beard, kisses the gashes that bloodily did yawn upon his face, and cries aloud, "Tarry, my cousin Suffolk! Tarry, sweet soul, for mine!" Then fly abreast, as in this glorious and well-foughten field we kept together in our chivalry. Upon these words, I came and cheered him up. He smiled me in the face, wrought me his hand, and with a feeble grip says, "Dear my lord, commend my service to my sovereign." So did he turn, and over Suffolk's neck he threw his wounded arm and kissed his lips, and so, espoused to death with blood, he sealed a testament of noble ending love. The pretty and sweet nature of it forced those waters from me which I would have stopped. But I had not so much of man in me, and all my mother came into my eyes and gave me up to tears. All right.
Well, that was
well, yeah, absolutely. And I felt a lot more plugged in. I think, Kathy, you brought up a really great point too. I think that I cavalierly entered the work as opposed to honoring the ideal center and activating it and really crossing the threshold. And that contracting and expansion felt actually really awesome because I could also feel it inside of my blood.
Yes, I literally was like,
Yeah.
Good thing I was off, because I was like, there we go. Yeah. And how your voice followed, right? I mean, that's what I mean, that's, the radiation as well. But, when the voice follows the body, you know that you're connected, And
standing up was a great call, Felicia. Sitting down is not good.
It's just hard with stakes at that level,
Yeah.
It diminishes us, and it's hard to fully, expand, contract, and get the polarity of the penetration when you're sitting. It's like it's stymied.
Well, and I wasn't even thinking about, like, all of a sudden that just the subtlety of the hand, activated something.
Well, it's when the gesture goes from being archetypal to being realism,
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's a point I would like to go back. We have a few more minutes with you. We have around, I figured we'd have 20 or so minutes with each of you. I would love, since you're standing up, I would love you to go back. I'm going to try and stand up here. And how long can we sustain that open without trying to, and I don't mean this in a derogatory fashion, without trying to act the speech? How long can open inform what it is we're saying? That's I guess what I want. And I was, I saw the penetrate, and yes, it has to become, when we do the monologue, it has to become into the realm of, we could actually do it on stage instead of archetypal, which I can now do because my shoulder's fixed. But I'm not sure where the ring was happening. And I think I know, but I want to be able to see you activate that ring, because as Jen was saying, that's vocally, we're going to hear it.
Yeah.
So that's all I had to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with that, like, thinking about your breath, like when you're going into the ring, before you do it, inhale and then exhale with the ring and really take it, that because that radiation and the energy of it, really taking all of that into it, because I feel like you've you have this monologue where you are comfortable with it, and so it seems like it's practice in the style of what you know, versus now we're trying to like bring in some new things and some new discoveries, so it's going to get you out of your comfort zone, which is going to make it way more interesting.
Good point.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're
Would you like to do it
suggesting?
again?
Yeah, I would. And now
Okay.
you're suggesting that, this is not necessarily the starting point. We have the opening, but the starting point is that sense of open. I open and it lingers.
Yeah, in fact, I would suggest that instead of doing this for your open, that you do this for open and let that chest really come forward. I am pleading. I am opening myself to you. I have this plea for you. Because when we do this, we're turning people away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to be sure what you're doing. That's all.
Yeah. In which array brave soldier doth he lie, larding the plain? And by his bloody side, yoke fellow to his honor-owing wounds, the noble Earl of Suffolk also lies. Suffolk first died, and York, all haggled over, comes to him, where in gore he lay and steeped, and takes him by the beard, kisses the gashes that bloodily did yawn upon his face, and cries aloud, "Tarry, my cousin Suffolk, tarry, sweet soul, for mine!" Then fly abreast, as in this glorious and well-foughten field we kept together in our chivalry. Upon these words, I came and cheered him up. He smiled me in his face, wrought me his hand, and with a feeble grip cries, "Dear my lord, commend my service to my sovereign." So did he turn, and over Suffolk's neck he threw his wounded arm and kissed his lips, and so, a spouse to death with blood, he sealed a testament of noble ending love. The pretty and sweet manner of it forced those waters from me which I would have stopped, but all my mother came into mine eyes and gave me up to tears. I was playing with a lot of different things.
That's okay. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
I was trying to focus on the ring that time to put it in a,
Yeah,
just to see, yeah.
We saw it, and also we heard it. Your diction, your articulation changed so much with the ring.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And again, it's that idea when the voice is activated, then you know. Because sometimes, I often see people applying a gesture, and it's like physically I see the gesture, but when the voice doesn't change, I know it hasn't been a complete transformation. It hasn't been a full giving over to the gesture.
Yes. It hasn't been fully realized. The gesture hasn't been fully realized in the body.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's physical, but the psycho hasn't followed.
Yeah. 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 John, we'll all give you some last comments, and then you can hang around, you can lurk, as it were, with Roland if you'd like to. But I think one of the things that I would suggest to you is that I think this is a good speech for you. I think it's a great speech. It fits within the time limits, all those things. If you ever had the opportunity to audition for a company that does Shakespeare, which they're getting fewer and fewer, but I think to work on this speech now, I think with the advice that Jen has given you and Felicia has given you, that I would go back to start over again. And I would use the rehearsal, the working on the speech, and fully realize each gesture that you want to use. Fully realize that penetrate. Fully realize that open, that ring all the way around the body, like Felicia was showing you when she was speaking. Because it's important to understand what it does to our breath, what it does to our body, and how, as Jen said, psychophysically we get shot off in the right direction. So that would be my final comment to you. I think it's a good piece.
Yeah, and just seeing how much it changed with kind of you just absorbing and making choices on the go, and doing it under a time limit, and knowing people were, watching you. I think taking the time to basically deconstruct it and reconstruct it, like Kathy is saying, I mean, just seeing the changes it made in this 20 minutes, I think you're going to have a really amazing piece. You have a really nice instrument.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
And the
do.
tools, I can see you using and working with the tools. So to fully realize them, I think you're going to find it transformational.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Belicia, that was a great, just a great comment. You know, the thought that, and I think you made this as well, Jen, is that the gesture also has to inform the breath and the voice. I never thought about it like that. So that's actually an excellent observation.
One thing I think about is like, because I have a habit of holding my breath, and breath is life. And when you take away the breath, there's no life into it. And so always think about, you know, radiate that life.
I feel that.
It shuts off your radiation to a degree too.
Yep.
Yeah.
To not fully express breath.
I think that was I applaud you. You don't know any of us really, and we don't really know you. I don't know where.
No, and I had no idea
what
I had no idea what to expect. I just was like, all right, I'm going to come into this room and let's just see what happens. So,
where did you study Chekhov that you knew some of the tools?
Oh, so I've been with Misha for the last sort of 3 summers, and been working with them. And I took some classes with Ragnar as well. So
good.
I'm really invested in it, and I want to be. That's why I wanted to come and work with you guys too, so I could continue, because it's a quest, a never-ending quest.
Yes.
Well, it's a great question. I really appreciate your willingness to jump in and get to know us and to work with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was lovely spending time with you.
Yes, lovely.
Yeah.
John, I'm not responding.
And you do not have to go away.
Yeah, I'd like to watch, actually. I know I'll be the lurker. I know James. James I've met before in Misha, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was good to see you and lovely to see your work.
Thanks, man.
You betcha.
All right. Roland.
You're up.
Let's
full color.
Yes,
There we
go away. Okay.
Well, it's good
Just you, Roland. Everybody turn off their things. Hide non-video participants.
Okay.
Well,
it's good to meet you, Belicia. I've never worked with you because I was there just the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's good to see you, Jen. And Kathy.
Hi, Roland.
So what are you going to do for us today, Roland? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so this just takes a second. I move the camera up so that I can be full-bodied. And I will do that right now.
What's your piece, Roland?
This is from Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 3, Shylock talking to Antonio.
All right.
Should I do it just with the tools that I've been working with? And this is very rough and not close to performance level or anything.
We didn't expect it to be. This is just us working together. So go ahead. Belicia, you can take lead on this one if you want. Then Jen and I will jump in. Whenever you're ready, Roland.
Okay. Senor Antonio, many a time and oft in the Rialto you have rated me for my monies and my usances. Still have I borne it with a patient shrug, for sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You call me misbeliever, cutthroat dog, and spit upon my Jewish gabardine, and offer use of that which is mine own. Well now, it appears you need my help. Go How to then? You come to me and you say, Sherlock, we would have monies. You say so. You, who did void your room upon my beard, and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur over your threshold. Money's is your suit. What should I say to you? Should I not say, hath a dog money? Is it possible a cur can lend 3,000 ducats? or shall I bend low? And in a bondman's key with bated breath and whispering humbleness, say this. Fair sir, you spat on me on Wednesday last. You spurned me such a day. Another time you called me dog. And for these courtesies, I'll lend you thus much monies.
Okay, thank you. Lisa, do you want to start, sweetie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, great piece. One thing I was wondering with the with your gestures, that could you try it this time, saying the lines with the gesture? It felt like once you did the gesture, and maybe because I know a lot, there's been controversy with it, and I haven't been there for the last 2 years. There's been controversy of should you do the gesture and then say the line, or say the line with it. And I know that's been, you know, I'm not sure which one is going to be the, which one is the consensus yet, but it just felt like when, after you did the gesture, that everything was going out of your body versus still radiating that gesture through the line.
Yeah.
Because if you're not using it with the line, then it serves no purpose. That's and so I would want you to continue allowing it to radiate the gesture throughout the line.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it felt like they were sort of dovetailing. Like you would start the line with the essence of the gesture, but then the gesture would kind of just. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the.
Yeah, I would just
ground.
add to what.
Yeah.
Hold your ground. I think especially when you do, I agree with both of what they said. And I think one of the things, even when we're using archetypal action and we're yielding, or when we're doing hold my ground, we need to think about the fact that all these gestures have to be simple, strong, and full-bodied. And while I saw the fact that you were standing and they seemed to be full-bodied, I didn't get the sense that they had the purpose and the intention behind them. So I wasn't quite sure why those gestures had been chosen. That's all. I think you're probably onto something there. But I think we just need to commit more to them. And it's like Felicia and Jen were saying, we have to radiate through the gesture. I don't care about whether or not we should say it on the line or after the line. We're working on a monologue. We got to have the gestures with the line. That's when they work. When we're learning them and we're trying to feel them in our body, that can be something else again. But we need to have those gestures in the body to make the breath right, as we were saying to John, and get it in the voice. As both Felicia and Jen pointed out to John. I think that's what you need to do here, Roland. Why don't you start again and then try, and we'll go away again, and you can work on those, really committing to those gestures and the why of the gesture. Does that make sense?